Hello, everybody, and welcome into a Wednesday edition of the Computer America Show. We have computer and technology news brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. In hour two, we'll have Dick DeBartolo, the GizWiz, Mad Magazine's maddest writer.
1 minute until
So
showtime.
sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Broadcasting live, it's America's longest-running national radio talk show on computers, Computer America, hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. Look for Craig's weekly column in your favorite newspaper. This show is being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. Keep it here for technology news, computer products, guest interviews, and your phone calls. You're listening to Computer America.
Hello, and welcome into the Computer America Show. It's the nation's longest-running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. Computer America is heard around the world and coast to coast. And I'm your host, Craig Crossman.
And I'm your co-host, Ben.
And welcome into us at a Wednesday edition of the show. Got a great program lined up for you. We've had a schedule change. Big Data, who is the music group, evidently has to reschedule. They can't be with us here tonight, so we were looking forward to that. Yeah, we were looking forward to that, but they will be here at another time. Carissa Green, our booking goddess, will make sure that happens. And so we're going to start off with computer news in the first hour, and then in hour two, Dick DeBartolo is going to be here with us, the GizWiz, Mad Magazine's maddest writer. He's always here with us on the last Wednesday of the month. And so we're going to get started here momentarily. Now, I see already that we got a phone call. So let's see what we can do before we get started. Computer America, Craig Crossman. Hey, caller, how are you?
Is this me?
Yes, this is you.
Hello.
Hello.
It's a gunslinger from Dallas, Texas. I was just listening in.
Oh, okay. You just want to listen into the show? You don't have a question? You just want to listen in this way?
If I have a question, I'll press 1. Is that okay?
Okay. Well, I'm going to put you back on hold, and if you have a question, you can. I think you're just going to have to call back. You're just going to have to call back that way. All right? Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Good enough. All right. All right. Well, as I said, he's in Dallas. He's listening to us in Dallas, Texas. That's nice.
Well, I must say that his timing is he's round the dot. So
Yeah, impeccable.
Punctuality plus 1 for you, sir.
Yeah, exactly. Welcome to the show. I guess he's just going to listen to the program. If he wants a question, he can always call us back. All right, so as I said, we're going to just do news in this hour, and then we'll continue on. So unless there's anything else you want to mention, Ben, we'll just get started. Anything else you want to?
Nope.
Okay, good. All right, well, let's do it. Tonight's Computer and Technology News is brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. You can visit them at slimwareutilities.com to clean, speed up, and optimize your Windows system for free. That's right. Everything at the Slimware Utilities website, completely free. They're not freemium. They're not limited in any way. All of them are completely free. Download all of them. Keep them in your computer's toolbox. Use them when you need them, and you'll be happy that you did that, because when the time comes, you'll be happy that you had the foresight to download them, use them, and you'll thank us for it. SlimwareUtilities.com. So let's get right to it. This first story from Wired magazine. Evidently, an ex-Tesla and NASA engineers have made a light bulb. Okay, but it's just not an ordinary light bulb. Obviously, it's a light bulb that's supposedly smarter than you. Okay. Now, sometime in early 2013, one of the delivery operations engineers at Tesla leaned back in his chair and took a look around the Silicon Valley office that he was in. It was a sunny day. He says, I looked up and I thought, why are these lights on with full power when full sunlight is coming through the window? Okay, well, I guess you could hit the off switch. But an online search for a better responsive bulb only yielded a few expensive commercial products. So that October, he left Tesla to design his own lighting company. The company is called Stack, and its first production is Alba. Alba is Italian, by the way, for sunrise. The Alba bulbs are designed to work autonomously, both by adjusting light output based on sunlight and by learning and adapting to its owner's household habits. As he sees it, it's the first in a new wave of lighting products to follow the Philips Hue and the Lifx, L-I-F-X. Those bulbs are smarter than the usual drugstore variety. They can sync with a smartphone app and even keep rhythm with a song, but they aren't intelligent by the same standards as the Nest thermostat or even a tool like Google Maps. In short, they're connected, but they're not responsive. So embedded in Alba's light diodes are sensors for motion, occupancy, and ambient light. This means the co-founder who worked on sensors at NASA had to create a new core technology because in order to work efficiently, Alba has to both read and react to available light. He says if you think about noise-canceling headphones, we have to cancel out the light being emitted by the light itself to understand how much light is in the light source. Okay? The result is a light bulb that can seesaw with natural light, and in doing so uses 60 to 80% less energy than a regular LED bulb, which uses very little energy in the first place. So that's a lot. Alba's other main function involves tailoring itself around its owners. Like the Nest, Alba runs algorithms and remembers users' habits at home. He says if we notice that people are in a certain part of the house at certain times of the day and then they mosey on over to the bedroom and then they spend more time awake in the bedroom before they go to bed, we can start to light a pathway. Alba emits light with blue tones in the morning to help users become alert and then glows warmer shades of white as the day wears on. Users can adjust all of this in the Stack app and create profiles like dinner party, nap time, and so on, and Alba will fold that data into its learning curve too. It's fairly easy to see how Stack, by riding the light bulb's coattails, could quickly become the spine of the connected home. Everyone has to buy light bulbs, and many of them to do it, and because each Alba bulb contains a Bluetooth module that acts like iBeacon technology, the hardware is already poised to start talking to other smart gadgets. This is like the home automation thing, though. Nothing talks to anything else. For now, it's being used to track users and their movement patterns around the house. I might find that a little creepy, but he says this has a dystopian ring to it. He says we don't track any personal data or anything that's on an individual user. It's environmental and used for learning and product performance. Okay. Well, down the line, though, he has ambitions of partnering with other companies, from thermostats to smart beds that track how people sleep, to eventually build a home that goes beyond convenience and actually is healthier to live in. The more data we have, we can see if you're in a REM cycle and then know not to wake you. Alba is sold as a starter kit with 2 bulbs for $150.
That's a lot.
A lot of money to spend on light bulbs. On the surface, this sounds, oh, it's cool, it's neat, but quite frankly, I just want my light bulbs to cost less money to run than the incandescent lamps that we use, and let me control the lights. I don't need to walk in the room and have them come on and go. I don't think that's. I think that's going to be random at best. I'll walk into a room and I haven't walked in the room before, and a light will come on in another room that I'm not in. I mean, I can see all the potential problems with something like this. I just don't think this is a good
With
solution.
no benefit.
Yeah, with no benefit whatsoever.
Okay.
I don't see any benefits here at all. I think that the light bulb and extremely expensive. I mean, what is the standard? What do you pay for a light bulb these days? Just a standard incandescent bulb, 60 or 100-watt bulb. What, about 50 cents or something? You get them in packs of 4 or 6, but they cost a lot of money. The LED bulbs are now dimmable. They're becoming more cost effective. I'm hoping in the next couple of years, LED bulbs will come down to the price of a regular bulb, and so when you change out your bulbs, you start replacing them with LED bulbs, and then those bulbs will last like 10, 15, 20 years. Excuse me. So that to me, I think, is the future. Not bulbs that turn them on or play music or I think a lot of this is out of control. I really do. I think people are thinking, oh, let's find a new way to innovate, and I think something gets lost in that passion to
I don't think
innovate.
it's out of control. I think people are just now getting that technology, and they're trying to put it everywhere and see where it fits.
Yeah.
And it may not fit in a light bulb, but it's they have to see if they can. Putting speakers where you normally didn't have speakers. I mean, before light bulbs were light bulbs were light bulbs, but as soon as they can become more than just that, I mean, sure, you may not want to put enough technology into it to make it $150, but I mean, well, technically 75 per light bulb, but I mean, it's just finding where you can fit technology where it wasn't before. And you may not see value in a $75 light bulb, but I mean, if someone else, maybe has like a desk lamp or a nightstand lamp, that kind of thing. I mean, someone may find, they have an extra $150, they could definitely do that.
Yeah.
And really soup up a desk or a nightstand. I could totally see a desk or a nightstand lamp using these bulbs.
Yeah.
Not every recessed lighting in your house, just important lights.
Well, right. If you have a desk lamp, obviously it's reachable. It's a switch. You can turn it on or turn it off. I think that this is way too much technology in a bulb. I really don't. I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it'll be kind of catchy and gimmicky. I think, but the everyday person is just looking for ways to save money and finding a light bulb that's going to last 10 or 15 years, and it costs pennies. There's what an incandescent bulb used to use. That, I think, is the light bulb of the future. And if you want to get fancy schmancy and add all these other things to it, great. But I think for the average person, they just want light bulbs that cost less money and also have to change them less frequently. I think that's the wave of the future. That's my prediction. Okay.
Really? Okay.
Yeah? Well, you
I guess
disagree?
we'll leave it at fuddy duddy.
Fuddy duddy.
That's you.
Okay. Listen, I give you my reasons. I'm not just saying no. I'm giving you solid reasons. People are going
I
to.
know, but you're looking at the light bulb of today and calling it the light bulb of the future.
No.
Right now, you want longer-lasting, cheaper light bulbs. In the
Yes.
future, light bulbs are going to be extremely cheap, and this technology will not be new, innovative, and have to recoup their cost for research and development. The price is definitely going to come down. What if this light bulb costs $20?
Do you want a light bulb that does all this? You want to install light bulbs that do this? And again, it's never going to be 100%. It's always going to get flaky. It's never going to be 100%.
So do light bulbs.
You'll walk. You'll be, and all of a sudden the lights will come in another room. So who's in? Why did that turn itself on? I mean, well, you were in there 3 days ago, and I thought, that's part of your pattern.
I've had a light switch short and throw a breaker for the whole house. I mean, technology is technology. It's going to break.
Yeah.
But calling the light bulb of today the light bulb of the future isn't it. So if that thing, if the price comes down, if it becomes very, very reliable, because they are working on it, and they start at the beginning. They have someone who can make intelligent technology. It could be a very good product.
I'm not convinced. I don't think it's going to happen. And that's my prediction. So get back to me in 10 years, and we'll see what's happening. I do predict that people are going to want cheaper, longer-lasting bulbs, and that's the LED bulb. There's no question.
Well, I predict that that's what they want right now. That's not what they want in the future. That's what they want right now.
Well, but they can't get it right now because
Sure they can. LED bulbs are coming down in price all the time.
The actual cost of the typical LED bulb is somewhere between $10 and $15 per bulb. To me, that's got a long way to go before they're still way up there in price. You know.
If you say so.
Okay, they are.
The price per how long they last is easily comparable to an incandescent bulb right now.
Yeah, but why would you have to pay that? That's my point. It's going to come down.
Why would you have to pay a fair price for it?
No. I'm saying the price of the LED bulbs will continue to fall until they become the same price as incandescent bulbs, which are going by the way.
Exactly. So, I mean, again, if the light bulb comes down and the price of the technology comes down, why wouldn't you pay $10, $15, $20 for this light bulb?
Because they're not going to work properly. I predict that they just won't.
So it's just a shoddy product. Okay, I got you.
That's not what I'm saying, but okay.
It sounds like what you're saying.
Why don't we move on to another story? Whoops, did you go mute? I mean, I can't hear you now.
There we go. Yep, there we go. Yeah, well, everyone has a printer, or most people have printers.
Yes.
Some people, like Craig, have multiple printers, and this article is from Wired, and it's from Matt Peckham, and someone did something really cool with the printer. So this article reads, "My bucket list: spend a week traipsing around Antarctica, execute Oscar Peterson's A Little Jazz Exercise, as well as Marion Protescu and play Doom on a printer." Okay, that last one may have been added retroactively, but I checked it off just the same. The fellow who took the time to hack a printer and make it play one of the defining games of the 20th century did so not on a whim, but to make a point about internet security.
Okay.
It took security wonk Michael Jordan 4 months to figure out how to get ID software storied first-person shooter running on a Canon Pixma printer. The Pixma printers are all-in-one contraptions with built-in wireless internet connectivity and a tiny LCD screen. Jordan, who worked for UK security researcher Context Information Security, wanted to show how Pixma printers could be discreetly modified via the internet to run custom code. And by the way, all those features of the Pixma printer that they listed off can be found in most printers that you can buy at the store nowadays. So the Pixma uses a browser interface that lets you glean diagnostic info or send the printer basic instructions from checking ink levels to printing test pages. A hacker accessing these features might, at worst, send an endless stream of print test page commands, depleting your ink and wasting your paper, right? Not so fast, says Jordan. A more egregious security hole emerges when you look at how Canon handles firmware updates. The process by which the printer's internet read-only memory, low-level software that tells the printer how to behave when it's powered on, is reprogrammed. Firmware updates happen infrequently unless users are experiencing the specific problem the firmware update is intended to solve. Most don't even know about them. But the firmware updates can be manually triggered at any time, and Jordan found Canon's update changed the printer's web proxy and DNS settings. If you could fiddle with that by accessing an internet-connected printer, locating it with a vulnerable device's web scanning tool, Jordan says you could redirect where the printer looked for control software, telling it to download whatever you like. And this, in theory, could provide a backdoor into someone's network. There's the scary part, and it's just a printer. So even if the printer is not directly connected to the internet, Jordan says its lack of authentication requirement makes it vulnerable to what's known as a one-click attack, whereby someone on the same network as a printer could locate the printer's IP using a port scanner, then initiate a cross-site request forgery attack to modify the printer's configuration. A lot of jargon in there, but it just means that because it's seen as a printer, it's not necessarily under the same restrictions as a computer connected to the same network. So they can use it as a door to get into your network. So, quote, "So what protection does Canon use to prevent a malicious person from providing a malicious firmware? In a nutshell, nothing." He wrote in his explanatory blog post. So instead of using a login and password, the correct way to do it, Canon employs a weak encryption, which Jordan was able to brute force hack, allowing him to roll his firmware and turn the printer into a Trojan horse for spying on documents being printed or used as a gateway into the network.
Wow.
Or play a vintage first-person shooter. The colors look a little goofy once the game's up and running, and though Jordan doesn't explain why, he says the game was tricky to get up and running due to it needing all the operating system dependencies to be implemented in ARM without access to a debugger. But there you have it. Doom in a place where creator John Carmack and pals probably never dreamed it might one day go. Jordan says his firm contacted Canon in March, and the company promised a fix for models launch from the second half of 2013 forward. In the meantime, Context cautions against connecting your printer to the internet and says to keep your device's firmware up to date, unless you want to play Doom. So long article, but it, going from something kind of cute and fun, which is installing Doom on a printer, and if you could just imagine the little LCD screens that come on most modern day printers, that is full-fledged Doom. And he did it not to put Doom somewhere. He did it to show that printers are not as secure as they should be.
Yeah, I have a Wi-Fi printer connected to printer. I have the Epson's the newest XP820, by the way, which I think is a wonderful printer. We're going to have Epson on the show in the next week or two to talk about this. But this is like the third generation of this series of printers, and as you said, it has a color screen on it. Excuse me, and I could, it would easily accommodate something like this. Now the printer itself, I know when it accesses the Wi-Fi, it asks for the SSID and it asks for the password and everything that you have to implement it. And if you don't give it, then it's not going to be able to access your Wi-Fi. So I'm not sure exactly if he could access the printer. I guess if the printer has connectivity, you grant it, and then he goes into the printer. He could piggyback through the printer into your Wi-Fi network because the printer has clearance. I guess that's. Yeah, exactly.
And because it's a printer, not a computer, the security for it was sounds like laughable at best. Because I
wonder if
for a computer you need the proper security for it, but for a printer, who's going to try to hack through a printer?
Yeah, and I wonder if all printers are like that, or is it just the ones from Canon?
I know that it's a common thing. Like it's probably not just from Pixma, they're probably not doing anything that isn't industry standard, because yes, it is just a printer, and you want that thing as easy to set up and easy to use as possible. So why would you make it complicated with firewall security, antivirus, anti-malware, when you could just kind of have a simple password to get into it, and then just try to make it as open to the internet as possible.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
Well, if you have one of these, just be careful, as he says, and see if your printer company is offering any additional security for your or security updates for it.
It's funny because this isn't even like a new thing. When I was going back, when I was in high school, in my freshman year of high school, back in 2006 or something like that, someone at the school actually figured out that we had the internet and the school had firewalls in place. So you couldn't get to certain websites. You couldn't go to all the gaming websites and things like that.
Sure.
And someone figured out that if you connected a computer to the network, but you call it a printer, none of the firewall settings would apply.
Oh, sneaky.
So in one of the engineering classrooms, there were about 24 computers. But if you went to the network, the web that showed you everything in that room, it showed that there were 23 printers in one computer. Because the only computer that wasn't set up like that was the teacher's computer, and 23 other computers were set up as printers, and they can go wherever they wanted to.
Did they, when they found that or discovered that, they make corrections?
It took them about a year and a half. I'm not going to say they were quick on the uptake, but they eventually did figure it out, and they locked that setting from students. But it's not new that printers are kind of seen as a non-threat.
Well, this fellow obviously took that exploit to the next level. Well, this next story is again, it's a blog from Windows. Evidently, Microsoft has announced the wireless display adapter. And this, I don't know if this is a competition to like the Google Chromecast or to some of the other Apple TVs, but evidently, story says, this is from today, it says, yesterday, have you ever had something on your phone that you really wanted to show to your friends and family, but they had to huddle around you and your PC, tablet, or smartphone to show it to them? So this happened to me last weekend when my parents were visiting from out of town, and I wanted to show them photos from my wedding this last summer that our photographer took. Okay, I mean, your parents weren't at your own wedding. You had to show them photos. What's the matter with you? Today, we're announcing the Microsoft Wireless Display Adapter, which connects to an HD TV monitor or projector and will let you easily share content from any Miracast-enabled device, including many PCs and tablets running Windows 8.1. With the wireless display adapter, I don't have to worry about getting everyone to huddle around the device. All the content I care about, along with the audio, is easily shared on the big screen. Now, all you need to do is plug the USB and HDMI end of the Microsoft Wireless Display Adapter into an HDTV monitor or projector. Then, selecting the right input on your TV, pair it with your laptop, tablet, or smartphone, and you'll be ready to go. It sounds a lot like what the Chromecast does. Then just wirelessly project your screen from your Miracast-enabled device. It's that simple. Okay, well, it's not the same thing, obviously. What this is doing is taking output from your computer screen, whereas with the Chromecast, you're dealing with an actual, like with Netflix and what have you, they're actually written to work with it. And so this is obviously a little different. Depending on your device, you can have it mirror exactly what's being shown on the screen of your device or extended screen. Because the Microsoft Wireless Display Adapter uses Miracast technology, you're not limited to certain apps or content streaming. It'll show anything and everything from your device. That's it. So in other words, it's mirroring whatever you see on the screen of your computer, your laptop, your smartphone. It's going to mirror it, and you're going to see it exact same display, but on your TV. Okay. He says, I was lucky to get my hands on a Microsoft Wireless Display Adapter to try it out for himself. And so he connected it to his HD TV. He had it on the appropriate input. The Microsoft logo popped up on the screen and told it was ready to connect. He says, I fired up my Dell Venue 8 Pro tablet and projected to the Microsoft Wireless Display Adapter, and before I knew it, my start screen was showing up on my HD TV. Also really easy. Here, that's it. He says, with my Dell Venue 8 Pro connected, I was able to see everything on its screen, also on my HD TV, if I chose to mirror the screen. I ended up opening Next Gen Reader and reading a bunch of articles before going into Flipboard. I also watched a bunch of videos from YouTube on the TV. He says the other thing that is really slick is being able to open Office documents, like a PowerPoint slide deck, and have it shown on my HD TV through the Microsoft Wireless Display Adapter. This makes it a great tool for use at work, in a conference room, and not just at home. Remember, the Microsoft Wireless Display Adapter works with projectors and monitors too, so no more searching for the right fitted adapter that plugs into your laptop every time you're presenting. You just got to make sure that, of course, that your projector or any of those things have an HDMI input. Most modern ones today do. HDMI is fairly commonplace today. He says you can also bring the Microsoft Wireless Display Adapter with you when you're traveling and hook it up to the HD TV in your hotel room to play movies and keep the kids entertained or check out your photos from the day. He says, I also projected the screen from my Lumina 1520 to my HD TV using the adapter. And he says, from my Lumina, I ended up watching a few episodes of Star Trek: The Next Generation from Hulu. The moral and ethical debate in this episode, I, Borg, never gets old. The great thing here is it also plays audio through the HD TV as well. Yes, because HDMI does video and audio. He says it's really simple to use and set up. He says the other thing to note is that while I used it with my Dell Venue 8 Pro and Lumina 1520, the adapter also works with Android devices too. He says, He says the adapter is available for pre-order now in the U.S. and Canada, and generally available in October for $59.95 online at the Microsoft Store and at Best Buy and Microsoft retail store locations. So it's not really a Chromecast per se, because the Chromecast really doesn't mirror what's on your computer screen. It displays content with the things that are designed to work with it, like Netflix, for example. I can load a Netflix movie, play the Netflix movie, and then send it over to the Chromecast, and then I can watch it on my TV screen. I'm really not watching what's being displayed on my computer screen on my TV.
You're sending apps.
I'm actually watching the movie that's being transmitted to the Chromecast in a different format that would be to my computer. It's not a simple mirroring device. The Chromecast is a little bit more complex. The idea behind this wireless display adapter, though, from Microsoft is it's a mirroring device. They're saying anything you can display on the screen, you can then also send to your TV, which makes sense.
Which I think is pretty cool.
It is cool. I think it's very cool. I can see a lot of uses for this. A lot of uses for this. Oh, okay. We're at the bottom of the hour. All right. You're listening to the Computer America Show on the Blog Talk Radio Network, on the IRN Radio Network, on the Boost Radio Network. I understand, though, the Boost Radio Network is not carrying our show tonight. There's a technical glitch. But hopefully you can listen to us on the Blog Talk Radio Network. I know that's working. You listen to the Computer America Show. We've got a News Tips Bulletin Review from Marty Winston coming up. Stay with us. We'll be right back with more news.
Hey everyone, have you heard about the No Hair Removal device that's sweeping the globe? If you want to go weeks without shaving and get smooth, professional quality results, here's our favorite host, Cheryl, for No Hair Removal.
Thanks. Hey gals, I love talking about my No. It's this cute little hair removal system that you can take with you and use almost anywhere at home or on the road. No more expensive in-office treatments, painful waxing, and no more wasting your valuable time. Got unwanted facial hair? No has patented thermocon technology that works on all hair and skin colors, so it's perfect for using on all body parts. And now you can take advantage of this incredible risk-free trial. Get the No, the facial kit, a travel case, and a $100 discount shopping card, and you don't risk a penny to try it. Try the incredible No hair completely risk-free. Call 1-800-953-5415. That's 800-953-5415. 800-953-5415.
Looking for a best friend? Brother Wolf Animal Rescue has your best friend waiting just for you. The mission is to protect and enhance the lives of companion animals and the people who love them. Their no-kill rescue shelter is open year-round, making it easy for people to adopt their best new friend. This year, Brother Wolf will find homes for over 2,400 orphan dogs, puppies, cats, and kittens. All have ended up as an orphan through no fault of their own. Brother Wolf has created a safe, nurturing environment where these special animals can heal emotionally and physically until they find a lifelong home. Their life-saving transport program brings dogs and puppies from overcrowded shelters in the south to rescues in the north where homes are easier to find. Brother Wolf Animal Rescue is a 501c3 organization. To learn more about their life-saving work and to make a donation, visit their website at www.bwar.org. That's www.bwar.org. Help to realize Brother Wolf's vision when no animal is euthanized for lack of a home.
Who's a good boy?
Dos Vidania, it's Marty Winston with a News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America, this time the UNU Ultra Pack Tour. Now, we're impressed with UNU Electronics and their understanding of the importance of adequate current levels to keep from time-starving users or power-starving gear. Their Ultra Pack Tour is one of the nicest high-capacity power pucks we've seen, and quite nice looking. It's a sleek, black, rectangular slab with a footprint just slightly larger than a 3x5-inch card and about 3/4 of an inch thick. Its guts boast a 10,000 milliamp hour lithium polymer battery, fed by a 12-volt, 2.5 amp wall wart using parallel faster than most such gear. An LED display shows a 5-segment status plus a numerical % of full readout, plus the time remaining to reach full charge. The business end offers both 1 amp and 2.1 amp charging ports. A little math tells us this can keep feeding one of those at full throttle for more than 3 hours. It also has a switch-controlled white LED convenience light. Bottom line, the UNU Ultra Pack Tour Power Puck has the power, the looks, and the smarts to merit top consideration among towable chargers. This is Marty Winston with the News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America.
Welcome back to the Computer America Show. Thank you, Marty Winston, for that News Tip Bulletin Review. And before we get back to news stories, Craig?
Yeah, I just want to give out the phone numbers to call if you have a comment or a question about anything we're talking about tonight. I neglected to mention this at the beginning of the show. So give us a call at 347-884-8881. That's 347-884-8881. I'll get you on and get you through. Email is live, L-I-V-E, at computeramerica.com. You can also join us in our live interactive IRC chat room. From our homepage, just click the tab there. It's not tab, it's just the button. It says live video and chat. That'll move you to our chat room and live video page. On the left-hand side there, you'll see Connect to Freenode IRC. That's our chat room. Put a nickname in the field there. That's the name you'll be known by when you go in there. Enter in the captcha number. That's just proves that you're a live person and not a bot. Click the Connect button, and your browser will move you into the chat room. We'll have a lot of people participating in there. We certainly welcome you to join us in our Computer America chat room. Just another way to interact with us. If you also have a button there that allows you to install IRC clients, so like Chatzilla and HexChat, so it just formats the chat room to be more eye-pleasing and easy to work in its own window. That's optional, you can do that. Sharing that same page is our live Computer America video streaming page, and that's brought to you by Other World Computing. Quality products, expert support since 1988. They're now celebrating its 25th anniversary. That's right, 25 years. Any of your computing needs, be it for PC, for Mac, for your PlayStation 4, for your Xbox One, you're looking for memory for a legacy computer, you're looking for hard drives, solid-state drives, you name it, anything that plugs into a computer, you're going to find it at Otherworld Computing, and at great prices. Any order that's over $49, you get free ground shipping, which means about 80% of the country, that's 2 days you get your delivery. It's just that simple, and it's free. You as I said, you can see their blog, rocketyard.com. It's all there at the website at www.macsales.com. Check it out. Check out all the things, all the new products. Register for their blog so you can be notified as to when things get updated. I mean, they have their own YouTube channel. So you can watch videos. Anything you order, they have support videos, so you can watch how to install it. They even have YouTube videos on explaining things like what's an SSID and what's a RAID system. They have YouTube videos out there. It's all at their website. Bookmark it, www.macsales.com. You'll be glad that you did. Okay, Ben and I are doing computer and technology news. Again, brought to you by Slimware Utilities. And was it your turn to do a story? Yeah.
Yeah, no, mine. Yeah, yep. And let's see. Yeah, I guess I'll announce it. Oh, no, never mind. Tell you later. Yeah, we're doing computer technology news, and one thing that you may not have caught, because I know I certainly didn't, catch it. I didn't see any commercials or anything like that, was the UPS store, the Up store.
Yes.
They will 3D print stuff for you.
Yeah, 3D printing comes to your UPS store. That's kind of cool.
Yep. So the UPS announced plans Monday to bring in-store 3D printing services to nearly 100 stores across the country, billing itself as the first national retailer to do so.
Cool.
With the UPS system, customers can submit their own designs for objects like product prototypes, engineering parts, and architectural models that are then printed on a professional quality 3D printer made by Stratasys.
Mm-hmm.
So prices vary depending on the complexity of the object. An iPhone case would be about $60,
yeah,
while a replica femur bone would be around $325.
And you never know when you need a spare femur.
Yeah. You could definitely use a couple of those laying around. Mm-hmm. So UPS can also connect customers with outside professionals who charge an hourly rate to help produce a design file for the printer. It generally takes about 4 to 5 hours to print a simple object, with more complex items taking a day or more.
Wow. Mm.
Yep, so the program started as a pilot at 6 locations last year, and UPS says that those stores saw demand for 3D print continuing to increase across a broad spectrum of customers.
Mm.
And is their boast really true? Like, I could have sworn we did a story a couple months ago about Home Depot bringing MakerBot
Yeah,
into the.
yeah, but they're selling the printer itself. I don't know if they were doing the uh, the actual service. They may have done the service.
Could have
Maybe.
sworn they were doing the service, but maybe they were planning to, but they haven't gotten around to it yet.
Hmm. Yeah, it's possible.
So.
Oh.
Yeah, if you needed something printed out, it sounds like it won't be, just for funds and things like that, or just for fun. But if you have some kind of prototype that you need printed out, instead of going to a much more expensive place, uh, UPS, it's an option now.
Yep. Remember I told you the other day about a problem with iOS 8, a bug I've discovered?
Mm-hmm.
That when you put the phone in the little dock, you can buy an Apple dock for your iPhone. You can't get it they don't make it for the 6 and the 6 Plus, but if you have it for the any of the other ones, they have docks for them, 5C, 5S, iPhone 5. I have a 5S, and when I put my 5S into the Apple dock, normally it lights up and the little green battery says it's charging, and it didn't do it. And I figured, I finally make sure that everything was plugged in properly. It was, and then I unplugged it from the dock, and I just plugged the cord directly into the phone, and it worked. So, but the moment I plugged it into the dock and then plugged the phone into the dock, it didn't work. So I figured, okay, the dock is defective. Went downstairs where the other dock is, same thing happened, and I went, oh, it's not the dock. Obviously, both couldn't go bad simultaneously. I had to reboot the phone. When I rebooted the phone, it worked. I figured, okay, problem over. Well, it surfaced up again. So that my alert was that there's this docking problem with iOS 8. Well, evidently Apple came out with the first update, iOS 8.0.1. But in the list of things that I am looking, it mentions a few things, but I don't see anywhere here in the list that it was dealing with the docking issue. I don't see that. However, regardless, Apple pulled it. That's right, they pulled the update because evidently some user reports serious issues with 8.0.1 because the update may have inadvertently added other bugs. So the story goes, this is from Time Magazine, Apple's first update to its new iOS 8 software fixes several bugs, including one that delayed the launch of new HealthKit fitness apps. But some users are reporting the update is causing new problems as it fixes old ones. Arriving 1 week after the operating system was first released to the public, iOS 8.0.1 update will resolve an issue that prevented HealthKit apps from becoming available on the App Store, according to Apple. Apps for HealthKit, one of the crowning features of iOS 8, had been planned for release alongside iOS 8, but the bug forced developers to delay the release. Other bug fixes in the update will address issues with third-party keyboards, photos, and unexpected cellular data usage. However, Mac Rumors reported today that some users who put iOS 8.0.1 on their phones are experiencing disruptions in cellular voice and data service as well as issues with Touch ID. Wow, giant step backwards. Time attempted but was unable to replicate the reported problems with an iPhone 5C, but several people on Twitter said that they were experiencing the issues, particularly those using Apple's new iPhone 6. So Apple pulled the iOS 8.0.1 update shortly after releasing it because of the aforementioned problems, telling Recode that, quote, we are actively investigating these reports and will provide information as quickly as we can, unquote. So there it is. So when I saw this, I figured, oh, somebody found the bug with the dock. But either it's way down on the list of the totem pole there, or maybe no one's. As I did a Google search, and I still can't find anyone having a problem with iOS 8 and the Apple dock. The little docking unit that you can purchase separately, the little accessory. I don't know if they're phasing out the dock because they don't offer one for iPhone 6, but still, But they haven't. They pulled it. They recalled it. So 8.0.1 has been officially recalled.
So, sorry if you downloaded 8.1. Apple, they're having a little troubles with this new operating system. I don't know.
They're having some problems with it.
I guess it's not uncommon when you update something that something else breaks. That's just the way coding is. But it's kind of sucky for Apple because everyone has an Apple product, so everyone knows what you did wrong.
Yeah.
Although I guess they should have the foresight to kind of go, and check these things before they release them. But things happen. Wait a week, see if you get another see if you get another update. Yeah. So we've talked. Actually, you know what? I'll do this one. People use email. I assume it's still a proper use of your time, and but sometimes I feel like people in my generation, definitely people a little bit earlier than my generation, they're just up and coming, that are going to have to start using email for colleges and work and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Email, like, I feel like people who use email in the past had the benefit of actually writing a letter and knowing what to do and what not to do on a letter, and then they could take that and kind of put that experience towards an email. But people, nowadays, they communicate through instant messaging and texting, and the rules of etiquette for that are much, much, much more lax than than writing a letter or that kind of thing. And typos are definitely a given. So Time has an article here, and it's from someone who is sort of successful. He is the chairman and former CEO of Google, Eric Schmidt, and he has 9 rules that I think would do us all some good if we went over them. So, not going to read it all out, but starting with rule number 1, respond quickly. Yeah.
Okay.
That's very important. There are people who can be relied upon to respond promptly to emails and those who can't. Strive to be one of the former. Most of the best and busiest people we know act quickly on their emails, not just to us or to select few senders, but to everyone. Being responsive sets up a positive communication feedback loop whereby your team and colleagues will be more likely to include you in important discussions and decisions, and being responsible to everyone reinforces the flat meritocratic culture you are trying to establish. So be prompt with your emails.
Okay.
2, when writing an email, every word matters and useless prose doesn't. Be crisp in your delivery. If you are describing a problem, define it clearly. Do this well. Doing this well requires more time, not less. You have to write a draft and go through it and eliminate any words that aren't necessary. Think about the late novelist Elmore Leonard's response to a question about his success as a writer. Leave out the parts that people skip. Most emails are full of stuff that people can skip, which is too true. I get too many emails every day that is just fluff upon fluff upon fluff. Wish it wasn't.
Yep.
Number 3, clean out your inbox constantly. Nothing worse than coming up to your inbox and you see, 400 waiting inbox messages.
Yeah.
And the longer you wait, the worse it's going to get. But that apathy, when you see that huge number, never really goes away. So clean out your inbox constantly. You don't want that building up.
Right.
4, handle email in LIFO order.
LIFO. Yeah.
LIFO. It's still LIFO. You can
Last
spell
and
it out.
first that. All right, last and first that. Okay.
Sometimes the older stuff gets taken care of by someone else. 5, remember you're a router. When you get a note with useful information, consider who else would find it useful. At the end of the day, make a mental pass through the mail you received and ask yourself, what should I have forwarded but didn't? Number 6, when you use the BCC, the blind copy, feature, ask yourself why. The answer is almost always you are trying to hide something, which is counterproductive to potentially knavish and a transparent culture. When that is your answer, copy the person openly or don't copy them at all. The only time we recommend using the BCC feature is when you are removing someone from an email thread. When you reply all to a lengthy series of emails, move the people who are no longer relevant to the thread to the BCC field and state in the text of the note that you are doing this. They will be relieved to have one less irrelevant note cluttering up their inbox.
Okay.
Number 7, don't yell. If you need to yell, do it in person. It is all caps, far too easy to do it electronically.
When you type in all caps, it's like you're yelling. Exactly.
Yes, it's very abrasive, and people do not appreciate it.
Yeah.
Number 8, make it easy to follow up on request. When you send a note to someone with an action item that you want to track, copy yourself, then label the note follow up.
Okay.
That makes it easy to find and follow up on things that haven't been done. Just resend the original note with a new intro asking, is this done?
Okay.
And number 9, last one, help your future self search for stuff. If you get something you think you may want to recall later, forward it to yourself along with a few keywords that describe its content. Think to yourself, how will I search for this later? Then, when you search for it later, you'll probably use the same search terms. This isn't just handy for emails, but important for documents too. Should any of these things go missing during a trip, which include health insurance cards, passports, licenses, and everything, the copies are easy to retrieve from the browser. So
there it is.
Yeah,
9 tips. All right. 9 tips for email sending.
Did you want to get to something?
Yeah, I do. That was a really long article. Maximum.
We're going over.
Maximum PC. This is interesting. A survey said that desktops are back in vogue again. I don't know that they were, they were saying, oh, the desktops are going by way of the dodo. They're going to phase them out. We have laptops and we have tablets, and smartphones. Nope. Satisfaction growing for desktop PCs among mainstream Americans. For enthusiasts, this won't be news, but after feasting on the empty calories of tablets and phones for years, mainstream consumers may finally have had enough and may be looking for something with a little more substance in their tech diets, the old-fashioned desktop PC. Yes. At least that's part of the conclusion of a new survey released today that gauges American satisfaction with consumers who may be turning to desktop PCs once again. Desktops, in fact, now actually satisfy more Americans more than tablets and laptops, surveys data shows. Okay, so that's it. Contrary to most predictions, the PC may be on the verge of making a big comeback. Sales of desktops are no longer falling after years of significant decline. On the other hand, tablet sales growth appeared to have slowed, and the early enthusiasm with tablets wears off, customer satisfaction dips, and now trails slightly behind desktops, although both lead laptops by a wide margin, the report says. So that's basically consumption of tablets and smartphones have been off. Looks like that the computers are making their way back up again. We have returned to sanity, because you cannot do with a tablet what you can do with a desktop PC. There's no question about it. So I'm very gratified to read that. Ben, yeah.
Yep.
You concur. Okay.
Yeah. It's no, it's not. I mean, I wish that desktop PCs were still in decline, personally, but
why?
I mean, I wish people would build their own desktops. When they say desktops are rising, that means people are going to the stores, picking out a desktop that's either pre-built on Dell or Amazon or something like that. They're pre-built, and they have no hands-on experience, picking out the parts, what they want in it, what they want around it. And because, yes, I am a co-host of a computer technology show, I want everyone, especially our listeners, to go out and build their desktop. It's a rewarding, fun, and even saves you money in the long run.
I think for the average person, they just want to get a machine.
Even for the average person, if you don't want to get into all the technical nitty-gritty, go to a boutique desktop place. Go to Origin PC, go to Digital Storm, go to one of these websites that will go hold your hand and help you build a computer. They're usually not that much more expensive. They're probably even a little bit cheaper, and you'll get a better product.
But some people just don't have the time to wherewithal. They just want to get a desktop that's going to do the job. They'll get an all.
I know I'm going to compare computers to guns, but I'm going to do it. Just like with guns, I can't afford. I don't have time to go get the safe, the concealed weapons permit. If you don't have the time and you can't afford it, then you shouldn't be carrying a gun.
Yeah.
People, take some interest in your computers. It will help you in the long run.
Okay. All right. Ah.
Yep.
All right. Well, hey, listen. In the wake of Apple's announcement with their Apple Watch, Samsung is coming up with a no.
Oh, wait, are you doing 2 stories in a row?
Oh, did I do that one last one?
Yeah,
Oh.
you just did the desktop PC one.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, you go ahead. Well, I've already started this one.
Well, you sound so dejected. Well, too bad. I'm cutting you off. All right. Well, this happened yesterday. This one from Blaster, and it's kind of interesting that India sends a spacecraft to Mars for half what it costs to make a Star Trek movie.
There you go. Look at that.
Yep. And so with NASA in the midst of a massive budget crunch, the private space industry is stepping in to pick up the slack, along with a few other countries.
Mm-hmm.
The nation of India has successfully reached the red planet with with a spacecraft, marking the first time any nation has actually made it to Mars with its first attempt.
Mm.
That's a big goal, I'm sorry, that's big praise, because if I remember the numbers right, out of the 40 missions that countries have sent to Mars, only 23 have succeeded. So I mean, there's about a 50% success rate, and India was able to get it on their first go.
Wow.
They did it for a paltry $74 million, less than half the cash most Hollywood studios spend on the average summer blockbuster.
Yep.
That's not a lot of money.
No, it's not.
And I actually saw another statistic saying that football, soccer, everywhere else, some of the deals that they have, that they trade players over there, there have been 7 players that were sold to different teams for more than $74 million.
Wow.
One person playing for another team, or you can send a satellite to Mars. Okay. I mean, the fact that they did it for so cheap is just mind-boggling. So, the name of the Indian spacecraft, which roughly translates to Marscraft, no points for originality, is expected to orbit Mars for 6 months and use scientific instruments to gather data about the planet's surface and atmosphere. It notes that the 3,000-pound spacecraft isn't as complex as those launched by the U.S. and Russia, but complex or not, it still ain't easy to successfully shoot a 35 to 60 million miles across the solar system.
Now, is this going to come back, or is it going to stay on Mars?
Nope, it's just going to hover around there. I don't think most satellites come back. I think most of them just kind of stay where they are.
I mean, who's it going to talk to? If it's there, it's just.
Well, no, I mean, it's still sending a signal back, so.
Okay.
And actually,
It's not like the trip where we're sending people one way to Mars, and.
Well, this is a one-way trip, so.
All right.
But actually, funny story. This the Indian spacecraft actually already has a Twitter account, and when I checked it the other day, it only had 3 tweets, and one of the tweets was to the Mars rover Curiosity, and it was like, hey Curiosity, just moving into the neighborhood. Send me a message and send me a message. I'll be around. Like, that was its first tweet, to NASA. Yeah. So, the India government is touting the accomplishment this week, and for the rest of us, the successful arrival of a nice reminder that even on a shoestring budget, humanity can accomplish some awesome things. So get your cardboard and duct tape together. We're getting ourselves to Mars.
Well, we have so many other stories that we're just not going to be able to get to here. We had our show on home automation with Mike Riley. It was last night. Author Mike Riley. And I was saying, that evidently there's a story here called the Wink Relay. Could be the smart home breakthrough we've been waiting for. A piece of home automation. It looks kind of cool, but I would have liked this. I would have liked to have discussed this with him, because it looks like it's going to work with a number of devices, including it speaks Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and Zigbee, but it doesn't support Z-Wave, and Z-Wave is one of the earliest. So you see, even here, it's still not supporting everything. So I don't know. I meant to call Logitech to ask them about their new hub too, which supposedly works with a lot more home automation devices. Hey, listen, we're coming up to the to the bottom of the hour here, and we've got Dick DeBartolo, the GizWiz, Mad Magazine's maddest writer, is going to be joining us in the second hour of the Computer America show. That's coming up, and he's got some really cool things to talk about, including a toaster that you can design what gets printed on your toast. Talk about technology making the ultimate connection. We got those stories and more. Just a quick reminder again, our Computer America contest is up and in full swing. Head over to our contest page at computeramerica.com. If you know, here's a little trick. You might not know this. If you click the logo, Computer America logo in the upper left-hand corner, it always takes you back to the home page, which is nice. And then just go to the interactive first pull-down menu and go to Enter Contest. You'll see all of our contests, including our brand new Logitech contest. We had a Logitech winner, by the way, who was so worried about security that he contacted us because even though he knew he had entered it and he was being contacted by Logitech that he had won it, he was still worried that it was a piece of spam. Can you imagine that?
Ladies and gentlemen, we're not even going to shoot that one down. We are glad he did that.
Yes, I guess so.
Always be careful.
Always be careful, but when you do everything and still, you know, I mean, if you enter the contest, you know you've entered the contest, and your name was announced and everything, but he still wanted to be sure. So I said, hey, you won. Just follow the instructions and enjoy your prize. And he was very nice and said, thank you so much. Very nice gentleman. So we're glad that he won. Coming up, as I said, Dick DeBartolo, the GizWiz, is going to be talking about some really cool things that he finds on the internet. He's going to share it with us. We're going to be gone just for a few moments, and we'll be back with Hour 2 of the Computer America Show. Stay with us.
Broadcasting live, it's the only national radio talk show on computers to air every weeknight. Computer America, hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. The first hour's behind us, but there's still more of tech news, tech talk, and your phone calls. We're being beamed nationwide at computeramerica.com. You got computer problems? Bring them on. You're listening to Computer America. Computers run the world, and we run computers. Call us or send us an email to live@computeramerica.com.
Hello and welcome into Hour 2 of the nation's longest-running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. This is the Computer America Show, and I'm your host, Craig Crossman.
And I'm your co-host, Ben.
And if you are just joining us, we just did computer technology news, and so what we're going to do now is introduce our guest for the next hour. He's known as the GizWiz. He's Mad Magazine's maddest writer. I love calling him that. Dick DeBartolo is mad about gadgets. He's here to share some of them with us tonight. He's an official Computer America correspondent who appears here on the last Wednesday show of the month. Dick, welcome into Computer America. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
We're just doing well.
How do I know I'm really on the Computer America show? How do I know I'm not being hacked into some foreign show?
You don't. You don't.
Oh, good.
Actually,
I got to do a foreign show. That's more fun.
Actually,
oh no, I know it's the show. I can't see Ben's eyes, so I know it's the show.
Because we have facial recognition.
Oh, exactly. Now, if you want to follow along with us here, you can just go to GizWiz.biz. That's Dick's website, GizWiz.biz, GizWiz.biz, and then you'll see a bunch of that's the main website, and you'll see a number of banners there. The third one down, it says non-paid lackey fun on Computer America. If you click that banner, you'll be able to follow along as what we're talking about tonight. You'll see images, pictures, even links there, pricing information. Everything is there for you to follow. And it just makes it a lot more fun to join along. So we're going to start off. You know, my wife bought a toaster about 2 years ago, and it was from Disney, and it had a picture of Tinkerbell. It was the
Cinderella slipper.
Cinderella, and you put it in, and then when the toast was done, it would pop up. And imprinted on each slice of bread was a shoe, and it would play music. It would play "Someday My Prince Will Come." So
a toast, or did the actual toast have a chip in it?
No, the toast had a little picture of a shoe imprinted, burned into it.
I
And
think I think the shoe was actually a little bit hotter than the rest of it, so it was like a little bit darker.
It was a little dark. Yeah, you would see the impression of the shoe on your toast, and then it would play "Someday My Prince Will Come." So,
Wow.
and we
So
still
what did
have
that cost? Do you have any idea what that cost?
No, but I could certainly find out, and I still think they're available. You can get them, So
It might have come from this company, which is called Burnt Impressions. I love the name of the company. Burnt Impressions makes totally custom. Now they call them selfie toasters because if you want, you can burn your own image into the toast.
Oh my gosh!
And they told me that they've discontinued group shots, so the selfie has to be of one person.
Why? Why would it be just?
You know what? I think that the definition. It's harder to do a bunch of people on toast than it is to do a single image or a logo. If you're following along on my website, GizWiz.biz, you'll see a picture of. I did not buy one of these toasters. I was going to, and then I thought, you need to have a lot of company come in, and then you have to make them toast so you can show it to them. But Leo Laporte is crazy enough to want to try one. So he had a twit toaster made, and basically you put toast in, and the toast has your logo on it. It's one side of each part of 2 slices of bread, and that costs $75. Or if you want to spring for $100, it'll do your image or your logo or whatever you want on both sides of the toast.
It's important to have the image, I think, on both sides of the toast because you never know if you flip it over.
You're gonna get one. You're gonna get a Computer America toaster.
I don't know. It would be kind of interesting. Let me ask you this, Dick. Are you wearing the same glasses you were last time that are non?
You know what? You're absolutely right. I am not.
I'm saying because I see all the reflection. I said, what happened to the glare?
Yes, you are. You know what? During there is no break in this show.
No, there is no break.
I was going to say during the next break, I'll run in and get my.
Out of the hour, you can run in at the.
On the hour.
Because you look a lot like Ben now. I mean, you got.
Yes. Yes.
It's all about angles. It's all about angles.
See now, Ben. Now you know what we suffer through.
Oh yeah, it's rough.
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, Dick has was talking about he has these pair of glasses that have a non-reflective coating on them.
And they're not like secret. It was I got them at LensCrafters.
Yeah, exactly.
And the woman said, "Do you want? We have a special coating. It's $40, and it's a non-reflective coating." And I got them, and I thought, "Oh, who knows what this is? This is really going to work or not?" And then one day I was playing with Skype, and they are amazing. They really,
because if you look down, I can see your eyes, but and they're quite attractive, by the way. But
thank you very much. I've waited 10 years to hear that.
But when you lift them up, and especially if the monitor has something very bright on it, all of a sudden all you see is these two white, reflections, and you can't see through them, and so. But when Dick was wearing last month the non-reflective glasses, and I guess you'll see them when he comes back after the bottom, you'll see that you see his eyes at all time. You don't see any of the reflection. So much so that Ben was thinking about getting his ad. But we don't know whether they can be added to existing glasses or does it have to be. We don't know that, right?
No, I don't know. So I'm sure if you go into any
LensCrafter, we can probably
or even maybe any lens store can do it. I don't know.
Well, we use LensCrafters.
Well, I mean, it's not new technology. I've seen it on things like swimming goggles and things like that. So it's not new.
But it was never used for this particular application. The fact that it happens, when you're on a computer and you're using a webcam and then you get that horrible glare.
Especially computer use, because the camera is so close to you. On ABC News, the camera is 10 feet from me.
Exactly.
You don't have that problem.
That's very, very nice. Yeah. All right, so we finished with the toaster, and it was either $75 for the image on one side of the toast or $100 for both. Will it work? But will it work on a bagel?
You know what? No, because your image would be in the hole. So I would just do toast, and I would probably do white toast, which
Yeah.
probably shows the image up
Well,
better.
I bet you it would work with an English muffin, though. You know.
You know what? I'm not so sure. It depends on how craggy it is.
Craggier. Okay. All right. Well, there it is. Definitely works with white toast. Maybe wheat
Yes.
toast, but definitely white toast. Okay. All right. So let's move on to the next thing. And it says, ever
Yeah,
thought?
have either of you guys ever bought? Have you been tempted to, or have you actually bought a mystery box of stuff?
I think I did when I was a kid. There was a comic book. You could buy the mystery box for like $10 or something, and I went ahead and did it, and it was what I expected it to be. It was a bunch of junk without the stuff that I got.
I mean, if someone tried to sell me a mystery box, the first thing I did would probably go online and find a review of it.
But
Well,
each
how are you going to find a review of it if it's a mystery box of junk?
yeah, right. And
You
each
know,
one,
it's these. This came from. I think mine was from Daily Steals, and it's just stuff that they had too much of and didn't want to run individual ads, and they figure. Anyway, I like mystery box of stuff. This is probably only the second time I bought it.
Okay.
Because they're fun. I make a little video unboxing it, and this one was cheap. This was $10.89.
all right.
So the one thing I thought was going to be great, and maybe you know about this product, it's called the Easy Secure Proximity Computer Lock. So what it is you plug it into your computer, you download the software from the little mini CDD that's in the box.
Was it use a USB port? You plug it into your computer?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And then when you walk away, you wear a little dongle, and when you walk away,
I remember this. Yeah, okay.
the computer.
It locks it when you walk away. I actually did a newspaper column on this years ago. I remember doing something like this.
Did it work okay? Because I never. Two things happened. This is where I go to Amazon and look up the reviews, and the reviews were awful. Is that what you come back and you almost have to sit on top of your computer before it knows you're back. Have to take the fob off, even off your belt, and lay it on the computer so your computer turns back on, and it operates outside of Windows. I think it has its own little. Anyway, people were saying, don't even bother, and it turns out that itself only retails for $10, and people who didn't have CD drives couldn't use it because someone in one of the reviews said, I don't have a CD, and I called the company and they said they don't have the software except on the CD that's in the box. So that was a waste of time. Then I got one of those sticky pads that you put on a dashboard and then you stick your phone on it.
Yep.
Right. Okay. Except it was cut down the middle, about 3/4 of the way.
What?
So, not only was it cut down the middle, but it was very funny. It had protective sleeves on either side that wasn't cut, but the pad in between them was cut. And I was thinking, how did somebody do this? How do you cut the pad without cutting the protective outer layers? Unless the person who cut the pad thought, oh, you know what, I'm going to send this back to them. I'll put some sticky stuff on both sides to hold it. So that was worthless.
That was awful.
And I finally found something that was pretty good. Energy. I don't know if you know that company. They spell it INGERGIE. Well, they had a dual USB adapter that retails for $9, and that I can use. So I was really out just about $1. Oh, and also there's something else. I have no Apple products, but there was a 30-pin to Lightning connector.
Oh, okay, those are actually
okay. So that's probably worth $10 itself.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, okay. So I thought it wasn't so bad, but you end up giving all the stuff away anyways.
Yeah, $10. What the heck? All right. But nothing ventured, nothing gained. You never know.
Yeah, no. I do boxes of junk from the warehouse. I have just so many tons of stuff, but I always throw in a copy of my book. So at the very worst, you end up with the current issue of Mad, a copy of my books, and a 35-year-old Alfred E. Newman picture. I don't want people to be terribly disappointed.
No, not at all. Okay, now I got to tell you, my wife can't start her day without her morning cup of coffee.
Oh, me too.
I mean, if you talk to her before, she says, "Coffee, need coffee."
Yeah, you're not that way?
No, I'm not a big caffeine fiend,
Oh my
she,
God.
I mean, she tells me stories when she went to work, and and someone tried to speak with her before she had a morning cup of coffee. It was just, you had to have her coffee.
Yes, I am that way.
Yeah, well, there it is. So then you understand. So we currently have the Keurig system, which is they've since come up with a new version 2.0, which we don't have yet, but they were thinking about it. But it's a but we have the Keurig system, and it makes individual cups of coffee with the little K cups, which are
Yes.
popular, and that's what we're using. So when I saw this, I said, "Wow, look, talk about a high-tech gadget and something what has to do with coffee." Well, we certainly had to hear about the Coffee Team Pro.
Yeah, the Coffee Team Pro glass. It's from Capresso. They make really high-end coffee makers. They use burr grinders, and burr grinders grind beans slowly so that those little things that spin that stainless steel blade at incredibly high speeds heats the beans, and according to them,
Oh my God.
takes away some of the flavor and aroma. So this has these solid steel burr grinders, and it grinds the beans. So you put the beans in the top, and then just you set the clock for when you want to wake up. And they recommend setting it 15 minutes before you want a full pot of coffee set for when you walk into the kitchen. You put the beans in it, and then you set the timer. But it's a beautiful looking pot. I have my old Capresso coffee team. I used pretty much daily for 6 years. So this is their newest. It's a lot of stainless steel. It has a removable water container in the back, so you can either leave it in the machine and pour water in it, or a big handle on the back and just lift that guy out. Also, it's the first coffee maker with a burr grinder that you can actually take the top burr out in case you have to clean it, and it has a self-cleaning cycle for every time it makes coffee. And then it does something else that I was listening, and I'm thinking, what is this coffee pot doing? The very first time I made coffee, I hear the motor run for a minute, and then it stopped for a second, and then it ground the beans, and it stopped for a second, and then it ground more beans, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on. So what I do is, that stupid thing is look in the book. So actually what it does is it opens the bean container, lets the beans in, starts grinding them. While it's grinding them, it closes the bottom of the coffee bean container to keep it fresh, and then it runs the grinder for another 30 seconds to make sure all the beans in the chute have been ground.
Nothing puts me off more than a cup of coffee with a bean floating in it. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, exactly. And there's a water filter if you wanted it. There's a snap-in charcoal water filter. It really is a beautiful machine, very high-end, but less than I would have thought. It sells for $229.99.
That's reasonable. I mean, the Keurigs, the top of the line Keurigs go for over $200.
Yeah, exactly. And you know the problem with the new one that's coming out.
2.0, right? Yeah.
Yeah, is, I don't know if you remember, we did Keurig on the show a while back. They somehow lost the rights to only exclusively make K-cups.
Yes, I know. And
so anybody in the world can make K-cups, and there are more than 200 varieties. Entenmann's, Dunkin' Donuts, everybody's making K-cups.
Right.
So now the new 2.0 is going back where every cup has a little bar on it.
Yeah.
The machine has to recognize or brew it.
That's gonna ruin it. I mean, you would think Keurig would be happy because the coffee industry is embracing their cup. It's gonna make their instead of that, they go into some bizarre anti-copying, protection scheme, and I think it's gonna ruin it. I think it'll absolutely ruin it. I really do.
People will just stay with the K-cups machines, I think.
Yeah, exactly. I'd heard about that. Ben and I actually did a news story about it a few weeks ago. That they were doing copy protection on K cups. So if you have if you get a K cup that's not authorized, quote unquote, from
Yes.
Keurig, that it won't brew. That has got to be the most crazy thing. Uh,
Well, I know up at MAD they have the Office K-Cup machine, which uses, and I sort of see the rationale there so that people would not take K-Cups home because they only work in that machine. And, when you put it in, the first time I was thinking, what? How does it know? It says, I am currently brewing your
yeah.
Kukalaka matcha. I'm thinking, how does it know what coffee I selected? And then when I put it in the second time, I realized that there was a barcode that the machine was reading. But if you put, occasionally it will say there is no K-cup in the machine, and you open it up and you have to push it down again because the bar reader didn't pick up the one.
And what would happen if you put a K cup in there that doesn't have the barcode?
It can't fit. It's designed totally different than the K cup. They're very flat.
Oh, there's a different.
A little tab on them. So it works both ways.
That's the view.
I think you're stealing them because you need to have the commercial machine at home.
Yeah. I think that's the View Cup. I think that's the next
View Cup. I think is the new one coming out, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, they have that, but I knew that they were doing some sort of copy protection against other K cups. And
yes, and that's going to be, I believe, the View Cup, which is probably the 2.0.
Here's my
screen will say, nah, this isn't an authorized pod.
Here's my prediction. I think if Keurig doesn't rescind them, they're going to go out of business. People won't tolerate it. It'll just they won't buy it anymore. Or another company will come up with another K cup machine, competing to it. So
could be. I mean, the thing is, if they see it's not selling, they'll just continue to make the K cup machines.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, technology going awry. This is really makes no sense. Well, here's something now. How about a mouse, but a color-changing mouse?
These are neat. These are neat. Satechi, spelled S-A, like Sateki, but I think it's Satechi, S-A-T-E-C-H-I. They make some really great stuff, not terribly expensive, and one of the newest is their Spectrum mouse. It's a wired optical mouse, and it changes through 7 different colors. But what's neat about this is that the shell of the mouse is translucent. So the whole mouse glows with that color. And it cycles through blue, yellow, violet, turquoise, red, white, and green. But I happen to have everything on my desk is blue. I have a blue keyboard, and my USB cables glow blue. So with the mouse, when it gets to the blue cycle, you can just push a little button on the bottom, and then it will just stay in the blue mode.
Yeah.
If you're a killjoy, you can just shut it off, so there are just no lights.
Why would you do that? I mean, if you buy.
I know. Maybe the kids would have it, and someone would come in and go, I don't want these glowing lights, and
I always say give people a choice. Let them turn it on or turn it off, or don't force them into it. So that's nice. But something like this, I think the whole purpose you bought it in the first place.
Exactly. Otherwise, you would have bought a different mouse.
Does it step between the colors, or does it fade?
It does fading in and out.
Nice.
It's very nice.
Yeah.
And there are some accent marks on it that stay very bright. So you sort of have a muted color with some very bright lines. It's really well engineered. It's under $25, and I actually like having. I really have a wired mouse, which right now is this Satechi mouse, and a wireless mouse, and I always have a corded mouse because I am a very messy person. And it is so easy for me to lose the wireless mouse between papers, under stuff. So I always have two mice. Was it two mouses?
Two mice, two mice, two mouses.
Attached pretty much to every computer.
Yeah.
So
It is a corded mouse.
it is a corded mouse.
That means you don't have to worry about batteries or anything
No,
like that.
exactly. And I'm sure one of the reasons it's corded is because it's doing all that lighting.
Yeah, exactly. But you don't have to worry about it. But Ben, I mean, we don't use. I know Ben uses a corded mouse, right? Your mouse is corded, correct?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, okay.
And your mouse, I think, glows red, if I recall, right?
Multiple colors.
Multiple. Oh, yours.
Oh, okay.
Red, not one of them, but pink, green, blue, yellow. You got it.
Okay, and it shifts colors as well. So would you just pick one color, or do you like the color shift? I like the color shift. I would just have it go. Yeah.
Whenever I go about and tinker, because not only like my mouse and my case, like the internal LEDs also change colors. So I match my mouse to my case whenever I do refreshes and things like that.
Cool. Well, your case is red, right? Glows red.
Currently I have it set to green.
Green. Oh, okay. Just whatever the mood of the day is, I guess, right? All right.
All these techno decisions.
Color is important in one's life, you know.
No, it is. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. Color affects your emotions and moods, and sometimes when you're angry, you want a red mouse, and when you're feeling kind of laid back, you want a blue mouse or a green mouse, and
It's not the individual parts; it's the picture as a whole, and mouse color helps that.
It sure does. Okay, you heard that from Ben. Mouse color. Mm-hmm. All right. So the other thing is you have something called the small hands. This is kind of cute.
Yeah, small hands is great. A couple months ago on the show, maybe as much as 6 or 8 months ago on the show, I had something else from Felix, and they're plastic hands that you clip the back of them, and the hands kind of open, and they wrap around your iPad or your tablet, whatever it is. And the early one was for iPads and the Samsung tab, any of the big tablets. I think it was up to 10.2 inches. And you slide it up and down the device, and as you slide it up and down the device, that changes the angle of the screen so that you can get it to the point. They're great for watching movies on an airplane. You can just tilt it back until you get rid of all the reflections.
Sure.
And then they came out recently with small hands, and they are to do the same thing on phones. I think the thing is they didn't quite come out at the right time, because the biggest dimension that they can go to is 5¼ inches. So like my Galaxy S5, which is waterproof, can't quite fit in here.
Yeah.
So any phone, and we're talking about the entire width of the phone, can't be more than 5¼ All the dimensions are on my website.
And
but it's a clever way to hold the device, and it's very small.
The new iPhones are bigger too. The 6.
Yeah. Are you guys getting iPhones? One of you?
We have Ben and I both have the 5S, and I was going to get the 6, but now I'm a little reluctant because some of the reports that are coming out is that I don't know if you heard, but the iPhone 6 and the 6 Plus, if you put them in your pocket or with virtually no pressure, they start to warp, literally bend.
Are you serious?
Yeah, you put it on a flat table and they start. You can make them rock, bum 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 bum, back and forth, because they lose their. And
I think they're secretly kind of trying to copy LG that came out with the world's first curved cell phone.
Yeah, it's not intentional. It's not intentional. And the thing is, it's not like you're sitting on something. It's just putting it in your pocket, or just the least little bit of pressure is causing them to buckle.
Yeah, it's weird. People want thinner and thinner and taller and taller and bigger phones, and then if you just get thinner and wider, I mean, put any kind of pressure in the middle on that, just like you sitting down and it pressing against your leg, it's gonna bend.
Oh my word!
And it stays bent. It doesn't straighten up again.
Holy!
They actually had an animated GIF on the website that reported it. You could see them. He put the phone on the table and you could see him rocking it back and forth, back and forth. It actually had developed a curve in it. Yeah.
How bizarre.
Yeah.
And I think there's some software things too, right? With the iOS 8, is it?
Yeah, iOS. Well, they were having update problems. I discovered one but I haven't seen it listed that iOS 8 will sometimes not allow your phone to work with the Apple dock. That's that little stand that it goes into.
Yes, right.
I have the 5S. I was telling Ben that when I put my after I did the update, like about a day later, I put the phone into the. I have two docks, one in the bedroom, one in the computer room. I put it in the bedroom, and normally it goes bleep. It shows you the battery charging. It didn't do it, and I checked it was plugged in, and it was plugged in. So finally, I unplugged the dock, and I took the cable, plugged it directly into the phone, and it worked. But when I tried to put the dock, it wouldn't work. So I figured the dock was broken. I took it down to the computer the next day, put it in there. It didn't work. I said, "Oh no, both docks couldn't fail simultaneously. Something's not." So I rebooted the phone, and then it worked again. So
they might have done an upgrade.
Yeah, I did it again, and it forgot again. I had to do a reboot. So there's something in there on iOS 8 that's making it somewhat incompatible with their Apple docks. But I haven't seen any announcement about it.
Okay.
So anyway, that's what's going on, and they recalled the latest update. We just did that news story. The 8.0.1 they recalled because it was causing other problems. So.
Okay.
Anyhow.
Yeah, new phones, a lot of growing pain.
Yeah, that's what goes with it. Anyway, now this next story, we're only going to start it because we're close to the bottom of the hour, and well, actually, let's just talk about a couple of stories, and then we don't have enough time to start a new story.
Yeah, okay.
But one of the things you do is you field test gadgets that you talked about a few months, which you did with the
jump pack.
The jump pack, yeah, exactly. And you have a review of that coming up, and then also we have another story that's coming up, which is the gloves that when you wear they're cut resistant. That's really cool. And also a self-centering tape, measuring tape. Some of the stories that's coming up. This is the Computer America Show on the Blog Talk Radio Network, on the Boost Radio Network, on the IRN Radio Network. Dick's going to go out and get his non-reflective glasses and be right back. You're listening to Computer America.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 120,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, Cover America Auto Care has announced revolutionary, inexpensive mechanical breakdown coverage that is now available to the general public to save consumers thousands on auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for drivers to call who own a vehicle that is less than 10 years old for a free 5-minute quote and to see if you qualify. The number is 800-483-2514. Drivers who are covered with this auto protection will not have to pay for a covered repair again. This is the auto coverage now sweeping across America at a fraction of what dealerships charge and is now available to the public by calling today. The number to call is 800-483-2514. 800-483-2514. That's 800-483-2514.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number. 1-866-663-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. So, disable the cable and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-866-663-MY-TV right now to sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99 and up to 4 rooms. And there's no equipment to buy. That includes your free HD TV upgrade, your free DVR upgrade, and your free professional installation. And the best part, the pristine digital picture and sound. Call 1-866-663-MY-TV. So, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-866-663-MY-TV. 1-866-663-MY-TV. Disable the cable, cut costs, and get more. Call 1-866-663-MY-TV. 1-866-663-MY-TV.
Salutations, it's Marty Winston with a News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America. This time, the iRobot Luge. They spell it L-O-O-J. It's not an Olympic event. We didn't want all of our robot reviewables to be underfoot, so we asked iRobot to send Luge their gutter cleaning robot. It has a long, thin, fairly rectangular body with rubber tracks on both sides, so it rides in a gutter like a skinny tank in a trench. The front end has the muck attack parts, brushes, rubber paddles, and a scraper plow. You use its removable handles built-in remote control to send the gutter gunk left or right, up the roof or out away from the house. Auto mode takes it forward, backs it up a bit, then forward again, or you and the remote can send it fore or aft and stop the auger or spin it left and right. Our hodgepodge house has many short gutter runs, many higher than our old ladder can reach, so no new ladder or hire somebody, you've got those choices. Luge effectively extended our reach the length of the sections of gutters we could reach, meaning far fewer ladder moves. It got stuck twice. Once because of debris, we used a broom to drag it back and clear the fault condition, and once on a return because we weren't spinning the auger. User error, quickly corrected. Bottom line, when it comes to the gutter, the iRobot Luge is an utter pleasure to use. Oh. This is Marty Winston with a News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America.
Welcome back to the Computer America Show. That was Marty Winston again with this News Tips Bulletin Review. And again, I've seen the auger. Awesome. Perfect. Works just like it sounds. So, glad he was able to review that. And speaking of things people being able to review things that they want, I actually remember you talking about the jump pack a little bit ago, and so it seems like you finally were able to field test it. Hopefully,
yes.
Hopefully on your own and not out of necessity, mind you.
Well,
but before we get to that, I want everybody to note that you can now see Dick's eyes. He's wearing the non-reflective anti.
And I will talk for a second, so it cuts to me, but it doesn't seem to be doing that.
No, do you hear? We're there. You're there. You hear us?
Okay, yeah. No, my picture didn't come up.
Okay. So I'm saying we're seeing your glasses, and they're not reflective now.
No, that is correct. I have switched glasses during that break.
So, go ahead.
Okay, jump pack. All right, so jump pack we talked about on the show. It was one of those, it seems too good to be true. It is a little external battery charger, which you can charge your cell phone or your tablets. And when I saw it at a trade show at the Cobra booth, next to this was a little set of jumper cables. And I said to the man, "You're not going to tell me that these jumper cables work with this device?" And he said, "Oh yeah, if you want to start your car, you can jump start your car with this." So I said, I want to test this out. So he said, "Okay, we'll get you one." So it took about 2 months till they get into production. And I went down to the boat one day. I keep it on my boat now. And what's neat about it is you charge it once, and it'll have 80 to 90% power at the end of a year. So I used to keep on the boat a big lead acid jumper cable thing that weighed 25 pounds, and if you didn't charge it every other month, it was just dead. So I went down to the marina, and the dock power had gone out, and the battery was dead, and the engine was just dead. And yes, I have a second battery that powers all the emergency pumps and everything. I could have easily clicked the switch and started the engine, but I thought this is perfect to use jump pack. So instructions are really simple. Connect the battery cables to your battery first, then plug it into the jump pack. It's keyed in so that you can only put it into the jump pack one way. Hit the little button. It started my outboard engine instantly. My outboard is a Yamaha. It's a V6, 225 horsepower, and it's just great. It is just great. And I have a friend, I think their boat is out on a mooring, because she told me they started their engine 4 times with the jump pack, not recharging it in between. It is expensive. It's I think it's down to $120 on Amazon. But if you travel, this is a great thing to have.
I mean, if it's expensive, but if the one time that you use it,
absolutely,
certainly pay for itself. I mean, you can obviously call if you have a service like AAA, you can call them, but that takes time. And
yeah, it could take hours. And here you do it yourself, and then it comes with a 12-volt charger and a 110 charger. So even if you run it down, jump starting people's cars, you can just plug it in your cigarette lighter once your car is up and running and charge it up full again. So it's really neat. It's called Jump Pack by Cobra.
yeah, okay. And and again, you can see a picture of it at GizWiz.biz, and if you click on the non-pay Lackey Fun banner, you can see all the stories that we're talking about tonight here with Dick DeBartolo. So let's go on to the next item, and I thought this was very cool. I mean, especially if you do a lot of handling of tools and everything. I know they tell you to wear gloves to protect your hands, but if you have something sharp, you could cut yourself, and these are evidently cut resistant. Because I thought these things were going to be made out of Kevlar or something.
No, you know what? They're quite amazing. I got an ad from what was the company? I'm trying to look here real quick. 13 Deals. And it talked about these cut-resistant gloves. And in the demo, the guy's running this knife across his gloves. And at first, he puts on a regular glove over the cut-resistant gloves to show you that the knife just shreds the regular glove and does not use the cut-resistant glove. So for the GizWiz show that I do at twit.tv, I didn't want to use a real knife on my hand, so I put carrots in a glove and then part of my hand in a glove and pretended that I was doing this. And then I said, "Oh, my fingers are good. Let's check the carrots." Carrots were all fine, and I stuck my hand in the glove and I said, Leo Laporte would do this because he does anything. And so I gently ran the knife over the glove, and then I ran it a little heavier. Then I got a bigger knife, and then I felt confident. And online, they said, "Dick, you have a boat. If you have to reach under your boat to check for barnacles, well, these are perfect for that." I don't know if you've ever encountered a barnacle.
Sure.
But they're like razor blades.
Yeah,
and sometimes you reach under, you run your hand over the bottom to see how smooth it is. And if you come up bloody, it's not that smooth. Barnacles are growing. So you would be able to feel the barnacles through these gloves, and they're dirt cheap. 2 pairs for $9.99, and so it's stainless steel wire, polyester, elastic chemical fiber, and like I said, the kid shouldn't be playing with these, but like you said, handling knives, handling tools, pulling on ropes, they're really worth it. I am going to keep them on the boat.
Yeah, well, I would think that would be a perfect
absolutely
application for it. I mean, as you mentioned, barnacles. I mean, they're I mean, that's nature's. That's how they defend themselves. I mean, they're razor sharp. Things like anything like coral and anything.
Yes, exactly. Yes, perfect.
You find yourself, handling that, something like this would certainly. But as I said, so they're not made out of Kevlar. What what they're made out of?
No. It says I just read it. Stainless steel thread, was it? Yeah, stainless steel.
Wow.
Gloves are made of stainless steel wire.
Wow, and yet they're supple enough for you.
Yes, and the warnings everywhere. They're not puncture resistant.
No.
You can't stab because it will go right through the glove. It's for cutting.
For cutting.
So beware.
Okay, there you go. All right, so when I read this next one, I kind of scratched my head at first. Because it was counterintuitive. I wasn't sure exactly what we were talking about, but it's something. It's
a steel ruler like we all use. Tape measure. You pull it out.
Right, exactly.
And it's very clever. It has great big markings along the top, and those are the inches and quarter inches and eighth of inches, and then under that, there's another set of small. Can get it, but it was only $6. So I ordered it because I thought I want to just see this in person. And so what it is is that the smaller red numbers show you exactly half of what the first dimension is. So if you're hanging up a mirror and it's 13 and a half, underneath that, it's 13 and a half, it'll be 6 3/4. But what's neat is if you get into weird dimensions like it measures 13 and a quarter, you look under 13 and a quarter and it's 6 5/8. So you don't have to do any of the math, and it's $6.
It's a self-centering tape, is what it is.
Yes, well, it's self-centering in as much as it tells you exactly what the center is of what you measured. And most people hanging pictures want the nail to be at the center.
Well, yeah, obviously, for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And an ordering hint on Amazon, there are two different ones, and they're 2 cents difference in buying them. There's an L625, 7 cents, and there's an L75, that's 2 cents more, and the L75 has a much heavier, ruggedized coating, a black kind of rubberized frame over the ruler. So get that one.
Yeah.
Again, both of them are under $6.
Very cool. Self-centering tape. Very useful. Okay. All right. Now, these aren't anti-glare.
No.
These are glasses that are kind of cool.
They're kind of cool, and it's a great pair to have for if anybody in the family loses their glasses. They're called AdLens adjustables, AdLens sundials, and AdLens work glasses. And basically, it's 2 lenses that you dial how you want them to focus. There's a tiny little dial on each side of the frame. So you close one eye, turn that little knob until that eye has the clearest vision. You let it go, cover that eye, go to the other eye, turn that little knob until you get that in focus, and then you can read with them or do whatever you have to do with them. And it can adjust from -6D to +3D. So they're just great emergency glasses. They've come down in price considerably. They at the trade show were saying they were going to be $59, which is too high. They're actually $29.95, and they look just a little bit heavier, but they work exactly the same if you buy them at Home Depot as work glasses. They're under $20.
But they're not. See, that's what I understand. Because they don't replace your prescription glass lenses, but yet they'll still act. Are they saying you shouldn't wear them for driving or something? Or
yes. I think they're not to sell. They can't sell them as any sort of prescription things. So you just dial them, and they don't.
Correct for astigmatism. No.
Yes, exactly.
But
it's pretty neat. I think to throw in your luggage, because if anybody in the family loses their glasses, you can probably dial this to get you through until you go out and get a new pair of regular glasses.
So you can actually dial in your prescription with these. They allow you to do that?
Yes. I don't know how prescriptions work, but from -6D to +3D is a pretty long range.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
And you can get them at Home Depot.
Home Depot is the only one that carries the work glasses.
Okay.
And everybody else carries the
sundials,
the sun and the regular glasses. Actually, Home Depot I think carries the whole line, and Amazon too.
I assume you can actually go try them out there too.
I bet you can.
Yeah.
I bet you can at Home Depot. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Well, I'm always, looking for new technology and tools and everything, and you've come up with, we have the cordless mouse, and we have the cordless, of course, screwdrivers and cordless weed whackers, but a cordless squeegee?
This is kind of neat. It's from Karcher, Karcher, and basically you charge this guy a lithium-ion battery, and then you can do about 40 windows. So what you do is spray on whatever your favorite window mirror cleaner is.
Okay.
And then you bring this guy up. It has a squeegee on the front, but it's a actually it's two squeegees with a little tiny little flexible opening, and that opening becomes a vacuum cleaner.
Oh.
So what you do is you spray the stuff on glass, and then as you use the squeegee, instead of the water running down and on your floor and on your hands,
right,
it cleans and sucks the dirty water into it. So you don't need any paper towels, any newspapers, anything else. And there's a little translucent container that holds the liquid that it sucks up and the dirt. And when you're done, you walk over to the sink, pop the little rubber gasket out, and empty the dirty water into the sink. It works really great.
And you can use any cleaning solution?
Any cleaning solution
Windex,
you want.
whatever you want. Yeah, exactly.
That someone just emailed me today and said they bought it for $54 on Amazon. And then they make a deluxe kit where the standard unit comes with an 11-inch squeegee, but they make a kit that also includes a 6-inch squeegee and some cleaning products and stuff. But I just used it right out of the box with just I used Windex.
And it worked as well as
great. It worked great.
Yeah.
No mess on the floor, and I didn't use paper towels or anything.
Very cool. All right. Well, there it is. All right. Well, as I said, Dick continues to find these really innovative things. A cordless electric squeegee.
Yes.
And again, you can see a picture of it at the GizWiz.biz. When you click the Computer America logo, you can follow all of these along with us and check these things out. All right. So here it is, an accessory to dim, not to make brighter, but to actually dim bright LED lights.
Yes. Do you have any appliances that drive you crazy when you shut the lights off and the appliance LED? I have from Monoprice. I have a little remote control HDMI changer. So my LCD screen is kind of old. It only has one HDMI input.
Yeah.
So this makes it 3 inputs.
Yep.
There are 4 LED lights to tell you which input is working. The lights, you could use them as a flashlight. It is ridiculous. I used to put a couple of tissues over it if I wanted to sleep in my chair in the living room. And then I learned about light dims in 30 seconds. So light dims are little peel-off circles that dim the light, and that there are 5 different varieties, anywhere from 50 to 80%. So this is really great. I can still see which one of the HDMI inputs I'm on, but all I see now is the light. No glare, none of that haze around LEDs when they're bright. And you get about 100 of these light dims on a sheet for, I think they're $5 or $5.99. Then they have blackout light dims if you just want to put it over the LED and not see it at all.
But that wouldn't be useful because the LED, then you wouldn't know which port.
Exactly. Yeah, if it's on or not. Yeah.
But I guess there would be applications where you don't really. It's just an indicator, a power LED or something that, and you already know it's on, so you don't need to keep you up at night. So you just put a blackout one over it.
Yeah, and and then they make an entire sheet in case you have like an LED clock where you want to see the numbers, but you don't want them to be as bright as they are. You can just cut that to size. And then they make them in silver, and they make them in white, so it will match different gadgets that you have depending on the background color of what you're putting it on. And
so color coordinated light dims.
Yeah, exactly. And I bought the 4-pack version, and it was $13.99 and 99-cent shipping. But they're really clever, light dims.
Now I understand there was a 5th generation or variant.
Yes, they just came out with the white ones. When I got them, there was the black, the blackout, silver, and something else. I forgot what it was. But now there's white that just came out.
Okay. And again, they cost about what?
$5.99 for a single sheet, or about $15 for them all.
There you go.
Okay.
All right, light dims. Okay. I know we have a few minutes left. Was there any other ones that I know we ran through the list?
Yes, we did. Let me just go over here and see what I'm working on for next week's show.
Okay.
And I'm going. Oh, I know what to do. Hang on a second. We can also talk about MAD.
We can do that too, but I was just looking at from your from the main page too. You have some other things there, but yeah. Why don't you tell us what is going on with Mad Magazine? What's going on?
Let's see. So Mad, speaking of the digital age, a lot of people don't even know that Mad has a digital version only for iPods, $9.99 for a year. And we're working on what's called the Mad 20, which is the dumbest things that happened in 2014. I'm working on an article about security at the White House, or lack of security at the White House. And then in the next issue that comes out, the Mad 20 comes out in 2015. So we work kind of far in advance. The next issue coming out, I have the results of the Mad poll. And what's fun about the Mad poll is that we didn't really ask anybody anything. We just made up the poll results, which, I think I'll just give you a preview. These won't be out for another month or two. 24% of everybody we polled prefer PC over Mac. Only 3% PC over mac and cheese. 19% of people are against gay marriage because it excludes straight people.
Oh, God.
24% are not going to buy a new flat screen TV because they like the shows they see on their old TV now.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Crazy poll.
Yeah, crazy poll. Okay. All right, let me find out. Let's see. Did we do Moody's?
No, and also I was looking at this thing about this is from the fourth. It was basically as a lock, a super grip lock that keeps these by turning your deadbolt even to it looks like a strap of some sort.
Oh yes. You know what? That turned out to be a disaster. How far back did you go? Do you know? What page
August 25th. Yeah, exactly. Chad's crap corner. Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Chad, OMG Chad, his name is, does a gadget a week, and he bought this. We did a security thing, and the object here is that it's a strap that you wrap around the doorknob, and then it wraps around the deadbolt.
Yeah.
And then you tighten it so that the deadbolt can't be turned because the tension on the strap is very it keeps it from turning. The problem is they actually at TWiT couldn't find a door that had that combination on, so they took a lock off a door, installed it so it looked like it was in the photo, but they could not make it tight enough that you couldn't
twist it.
And once you got it turning a little bit, it just slid off. So that was I'll tell you about something that turned out to be, it's so silly, but it turned out to be good. The Go-Go pillow.
The Go-Go pillow.
The Go-Go pillow is sold, it's as seen on TV. It's the 3-in-1 pillow.
Yeah.
And it holds your iPad, and it has 4 little corners for the iPad. It has 4 smaller corners if you have the mini iPad. But it says it's also a neck cushion for the airplane. And I'm thinking, how does that work? So didn't come with any instructions. So I open a zipper, and this thing falls out. It looks like baby pants. And I'm holding it, and suddenly, once I opened it and these pant legs fell out, suddenly all the beads that were in holding the iPad thing fell down into these pant legs.
Oh no.
Yeah, and then you roll the excess material up and zip it closed, and now you do have a neck cushion.
Son of a gun.
It's kind of, and then the weirdest thing is it says it's also a backpack, but how weird you would look.
No.
Even though there are two not Velcro, but elastic straps on it, I think you would look really weird trying to go down the block with this thing.
Unless that was your intention, you wanted to look weird.
You know what? A kid might like it. The reason I like it is I found it for $5. Okay. If you buy it on television, it was $20. Amazon has it for $14.50. It was on sale at Bed Bath & Beyond for $10. And then I happened to be walking by Staples, and you know all these stores now have it as sold on TV.
90 seconds.
Okay, I'll let you go.
No, you say it.
Anyway, as shown on TV, and Staples was closing now for $5, and I thought, for $5, I'll buy that.
There you go. I'll buy that for $1. Exactly. Well, Dick, always a pleasure having you here. Yeah, stay with us to the end because we have our after show. Tomorrow night we're going to have two guests. In the first hour, we're going to have Face Rig. This is a very interesting. It allows you using your webcam.
60 seconds.
To display yourself as an animal. You make yourself look like a raccoon, and when you talk, the lips move in sync with what you're doing, and it's just kind of very odd, off-the-wall software, but we thought we would have them on. And then the second hour, we're going to have FindingRover.com. This is actually a very cool application that allows you, they work with animal rescue services around the country. If you lose your dog, it'll help you find the dog by facial recognition. They'll actually look at the face of the dog and create help you to find your animal. Anyway, they're going to be on in the second hour, so we will hope to see you tomorrow night. So until tomorrow night, this is Craig Crossman hoping that your hard disk never becomes floppy. Have a great evening. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Good night, everyone.
Seconds.
Bye.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Okay, and thanks again, everybody, for watching the show on our live video streaming page, brought to you by Otherworld Computing. Thanks, Dick, again for being with us, and
no problem.
And we'll see you all tomorrow night. So take care. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
I like that. What's that pet thing called?
Oh, Face Rig. Oh, no, the FindingRover.com.
FindingRover.com. That sounds good.
Yeah, check it out. All right.
I will. Okay, take care. Bye. Bye, Ben. Bye, Ch